Good day, everybody. Today, in part 3 of learning how to manipulate Microsoft Word, you're going to be learning how to set your line spacing, to set your margins, as well as to show you some other aspects of indentation. This time I'm going to show you how to set up your page to accommodate hanging indentation. And this will be especially helpful to people who are doing a research paper. So once you are doing a research paper, you have to include what we call a reference list. And when you're typing a reference list, your list has to be in hanging indentation. So that's what I'm going to start with, hanging indentation. But before I do that, of course, I'm going to remind you to subscribe if you have not subscribed before. Like, share, comment, and remember to watch the ads. So hanging indentation, how do we do that? I have a reference page here and I'm going to set it up to accommodate hanging indentation because, like I said to you before, your list, your reference list, should be in hanging indentation. So to do that, we go to our paragraph grouping, and then when we go into our paragraph grouping, you are going to look for a section called indentation, then another section within that part called special. When you click on that drop down arrow, you will see none, which means no indentation, first line, which is what we learned in part 2, how you do a first line indentation, and you have what we call hanging indentation. Now this is the one that we want, so we are going to be clicking on it and then select OK. So we're going to make up a reference list now, and we're going to take off the bold because your list should not be in bold. So Reid-Simpson, comma, K, and the year 2020, and the source is, or the title of the source rather, is how to manipulate Microsoft Word Part 3, and the source was retrieved from my YouTube channel, so I'm going to make up one. We're going to pretend as if we have one here from my channel. What do you notice? It hangs, well, the subsequent line is hanging. So that's how you go about typing a reference list and placing it in hanging indentation. So if you notice, the first line was not indented because we didn't do a first line indentation, we did a hanging indentation. And when you do a hanging indentation, the subsequent lines are what you will see hanging, or be indented rather. All right, the next thing I want to show you how to do is to set up your line spacing. Again, if you are doing a research paper, you have to put your line spacing to double. To do that, we go back to the paragraph grouping, and then you're going to look for spacing, a section called spacing, and under the line spacing section of that section, you're going to select double. Also, you are to ensure that your spacing before and after is set to 0. The spacing before is already set to 0, so the spacing after needs to be 0 as well. So we're going to reduce that to 0. I can hear the birds outside singing. I guess you can hear it too, so sweet. Okay, we have to click on OK. All right, so when you type, your document will be typed in double space because we set it to have double space line spacing. The last thing I want to show you in this video is how to set your margins. Now, to set your margins, you have to click on Layout, and when you click on Layout tab, you will then select Margins from the Page Setup area group. When you click on Margins, you are going to click on Custom Margin. You could have selected one of the settings that are there. Normal setting is 1 inch right around, top, bottom, left and right, but you can set your own, and in order to set your own, you have to click on Custom Margins. Alright, and if you look under Margins, you will see that the top, bottom, left and right is set at 1 inch. For some computer, the newer versions, they have centimeter, so you would see 2.54 centimeter, and some computers will have 1 inch like you see now. Suppose I want my top and bottom margins to have 1.2 inches. I would click on the top button to increase it to 1.2. Then I would do the same for the bottom, since I want both bottom and top margins to have 1.2 inches. What if I want the left and right margins to be 0.8 inches? I would select the down arrow to bring it down to 0.8 and do the same for the right margin. As soon as you are through setting up your margins, you would then select OK. By the way, just a reminder rather for those EDPM students, when you get a document to prepare and it said that you should have uneven margins, it means that the top and bottom would have the same margin, and then the left and right would have a different measurement, and that's what they refer to when they say to have uneven margins. All right, in normal setting, all the margins are even. If you notice before, all the margins were set at 1 inch, but now we have only the top and bottom at 1.2 inches and the left and right margin at 0.8 inch. All right, so we click on OK, and if you notice, the document shift because it adjusted the margins just now. So guys, this is what I have to show you today. I do hope you have learned something, and please remember to share it with everybody you know would benefit from this. And remember guys, if you have not subscribed, please subscribe, like, share, comment, and remember to watch the ads. Bye guys, thank you for watching.